President Conacher Macklin, we are present, I believe. Good evening.
The audio is currently connecting.
Okay. Is Frank with us? Yeah. I don't see him.
I don't.
He's not. No, he's not here.
Let me write him. The time has slipped him by. Okay.
You know, I was unsure about whether we just came into closed session or we came to open session first. So he may have had the same thought about it.
I believe we're live on YouTube currently.
That is correct.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
We are waiting for, I think, one more person, and then we'll be able to get started. There we are.
Good evening. We are now at the school board meeting of the Pomona Unified School District, May 13th, 2020. I am Adrienne Conagar Macklin, President of the Board of Education. Roll call, please.
Dr. Perlman,
I think Dr. Perlman should unmute.
Sorry, here.
Mr. Wong,
Here.
Mrs. Conagar Macklin,
Here.
Mr. Guzman,
Here.
Dr. Rothman.
Here.
Thank you. And good evening. In accordance with the Brown Act and recent temporary adaptations to the act authorized by the Governor of the State of California, this duly noticed meeting of the Board of Education will take place remotely via Zoom, which will be publicly accessible via YouTube. Public participation in this meeting will take place by means of prior notice, public call-in number, and email address, allowing members of the public who wish to comment on agenda items to place their public comments into a designated voicemail system and/or to send their comments via email. Public comments retrieved from the voicemail system and email will be read into the record during this evening's public meeting and included as part of the electronically accessible minutes. In accordance with ADA requirements, members of the public requiring accommodations for this meeting have been invited by prior notice to call into the designated voicemail system so that appropriate accommodations can be ensured. In addition to members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Richard Martinez, the Executive Cabinet, Legal Counsel, and staff necessary to conduct the remote meeting will participate via Zoom, which will be publicly accessible via YouTube. In order to identify and hear board members on matters which may require board discussions, questions, or comments during each of the agenda items under consideration, I will call on board members and ask if they have any questions or comments for the item under consideration. All items requiring a board vote will be done as a verbal roll call vote. Please note, there might be some natural delays as we have members of the board, cabinet members, and others participating remotely as described. We ask that all participants please mute yourself and only unmute on your end when you are called on or if the board has a question or comment directed to you. In order to accurately record board actions during the meeting, when an agenda item is called and it is time for the board to take action on that item, the following procedure will be followed. Board President Adrienne Conagar Macklin will call for a motion. For the record to be captured correctly, please identify yourself when making a motion or seconding a motion. I will then be calling on each board member for your individual vote. Do board members have any questions regarding your participation in today's meeting?
No.
Perfect. So we've conducted the roll call vote at this point, and we can proceed. President Conagar Macklin.
All right. Thank you. If there's nothing further during open session, the board will convene to close session.
Prior to convening, if possible, we would like to share the agenda items. This is Jim Moore, General Counsel. The items on our duly noticed closed session agenda are as follows. Number 1, employee dismissal, release, or retirement. We have 4 case numbers ending in 026, 027, 028, and 029. Item number 2 will be conference with labor negotiator, Deputy Superintendent of Human Resources pursuant to the California Government Code Section 5495.7 regarding employee organizations. And number 3, public employee performance evaluation pursuant to the Government Code Section 54957 regarding superintendent. For the record, no members of the public have provided comments regarding these closed session items such that we can now adjourn to closed session.
Thank you. I don't have a guess, but
We will now adjourn and return back to open session at 6 p.m. Thank you, everyone. We can now start closed session.
don't we need to switch to another feed? Yeah. All right, it is 6:07 p.m. Are we ready to convene?
Yes.
All right. I'm Adrian Conagar Macklin, President of the Board of Education of Pomona Unified School District. I call to order our regular meeting of May 13th, 2020. We are reconvening to regular session. Roll call, please. Moderator?
Dr. Pearlman,
Here.
Mr. Wong,
Here.
Mrs. Conagar Macklin,
Here.
Mr. Guzman,
Here.
Dr. Rothman.
Here.
The Pledge of Allegiance this evening will be led by Sylvia San Martin. Ms. San
Thank you.
Martin?
Yes, thank you. Everyone can place their right hand over their heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Moore, announcement of action taken in closed session.
Thank you. No reportable actions were taken.
Thank you very much. Any modifications? Superintendent's comments?
Good evening, President Conagar Macklin, board members, staff, and community. We do have some pulls tonight from the agenda. Agenda item 5A.04, certificated personnel catastrophic leave. We're pulling number 1 for separate vote. 6.02, classified establishment of fund for position secretary data processing. 7.30, fiscal agreement, Level Learning Incorporated, DBA Level Chinese. That is being pulled for this month. 7.33, fiscal agreement, MDC Engineers Incorporated. This was for a project at Diamond Ranch High School, being pulled for now. 7.35, fiscal agreement, Zoom Video Communications. That will come back to us in the month of June for that board meeting. And 8.03, resolution number 26, 2019-20, educational protection account. That is also being pulled for this month and will return to the following board meeting. I do have some comments, President Adrian Conagar Macklin, if that's okay. Can I share that
Yeah.
right now?
Most
Please.
definitely.
So I want to thank our tech team for making all this magic happen. You know, from putting this on Zoom to putting this on YouTube, and just all the specifics and details that have to happen to stream board meetings to our families across Pomona. So thank you, folks. And there's a lot of people behind the scenes, at least 3 or 4. I anticipate we're going to be conducting our meetings in this manner for at least a couple more months and possibly 3 months. Of course, this is all contingent on orders from the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health. And please feel free to address the board at any future meetings that we have online this way. You could do it on Mondays and Tuesdays prior to the meetings. So if you want to share a public comment, you can go to the website. There are very specific details on how you can call in, you can write in, and it would be entered in the record by Sylvia San Martin. She would be reading your information, and if it's in Spanish, it will be translated, so that way our board members could hear from you. And there's also another way. You can just write the board, or you can write me, you can email us, or even call the district line. We will pick up and we'll be able to respond to you. And that's at any time, any day. So feel free Monday through Friday to call us. We're in the final stretch, folks, of the school year, and our teachers and our parents, students, they're excited to reach the finish line. I commend all of you, and that includes our moms and dads, grandmas, grandpas, foster care parents, for working together with our teachers and ensuring that our students had an opportunity to advance academically in spite of all the challenges that we faced the last 2 months of moving to a distance learning platform from 0 to 100%. It's pretty incredible what happened over a short period of time. Our attention recently has been on culminating activities such as virtual graduations for our seniors, advancing to their, as they plan to advance to workplaces or moving into college next semester. And we want to salute and congratulate our kids, our young adults, for doing a great job in these last 12 years in Pomona Unified to move on to the workforce or college. So thank you, principals, staff members, parents, and of course, our student leadership for creating ways to celebrate these milestones. We're also proud of our students promoting from elementary to middle and middle to high school. Kudos to each of our students who work diligently in mastering all the coursework that they've done over the last 2 years or the last 6 years as they prepared for that next level, that next school in Pomona Unified in their educational journey. Again, thank you, parents, for partnering with us during those years. Another very important area that we're focused on is one that we're getting a lot of, we're getting emails, we're getting calls, and what does the return to school plan look like for next year? So Pomona Unified School District, we've formed a task force. We've just started in that task force a group of 50 that's working on a comprehensive plan, which will be focusing on the following: keeping students and staff safe and healthy once they return, ensuring access and equity in our system, engaging our unions so that way they're in the know on what the expectations are and what the protocols will be. We want to make sure we're communicating with all the stakeholders, with our parents, with our community leaders, and of course with our students. We want to make sure we're flexible in meeting needs of all children. So I'm asking for flexibility. I'm also asking for grace because there'll be some mistakes and we can get impatient. So we want to make sure that we give each other grace, from their parents to our staff, back and forth. So that task force, as I indicated, is 50 employees of the district. They represent all the departments that support instruction. The task force has recommended that we poll our community through this process to seek your opinion, community opinion, and suggestions. So a survey is being developed, and you will have an opportunity to weigh in the next few weeks as far as the direction that we're taking and where we're moving to for the opening of this new school year. Again, this is uncharted territory. Most of this country hasn't come back from a pandemic back to school gradually, not all at once. And so that's the thing we want to make sure is that we come back in phases that are safe for children. So we'll be able to spell that out and share that with you a bit later in the summer. So once that plan is completed, the board will consider that plan for approval, and the LA County Office of Education will be wanting to see that plan. It's imperative that we provide an environment that is safe, that has the necessary materials, practice protocols set by the county health department, so our parents and our staff, and of course our students, will be confident that the environment is conducive for learning. And as I've said before, those representing the organizations are going over and above to making the best of our current situation to ensure our students are cared for, that they're fed, that they're supported and educated. We appreciate all of you, and we appreciate our parents. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. We will now move to item 1.06, student recognition of student representative to the Board of Education. Again, Mr. Martinez.
So Audrey, if you could see, she is not here. Audrey Ramos, who attends Ganesha High School and the president of the Associated Student Body, has been our representative this semester. She called and asked if she can take a break from us, not because she doesn't like us. She is getting ready for AP exams. So she really needed the time. And so of course we said, absolutely, you need to take the time to get ready for your AP exams. But I do want to recognize this young lady who's been serving this last semester. And she has served in a time that no other student rep has done, and that's during the pandemic. You, Audrey, along with the other student leaders of our school district, have stepped up, and you found the ways to motivate, to encourage, and to support your fellow students by creating virtual spirit days, encouraging videos to complete the census, and at times even taking risk by helping our local food distribution centers, providing to those needy families that we have in Pomona. So thank you, Audrey, for just demonstrating and modeling compassion, care for others to follow. I want to thank you for serving in the role of student rep, for the 23,000 students this semester. And Audrey, if you're watching, I will get this to you with my mask on somehow, some way. This is yours from on behalf of the Board of Education, and it's coming your way via Pony and for sure with my mask. So don't worry, I will make sure I'm keeping you safe. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now move to item 1.07, California School Employees Association representative comments. Has she joined us? Does not look like she is here, so we will skip for now and return to this one when she arrives. We will move to 1.08, Associated Pomona Teachers Representatives Comments, Dorothy Kim Perez.
Good evening, President Conagher-Macklin, Vice President Wong, school board members, cabinet members, community members, and CSCA and APT sisters and brothers. May is a month of many celebrations. So APT would like to honor our school nurses. International Nurses Day was just yesterday, which is celebrated around the world. It's the day that Florence Nightingale was born, who is considered the founder proposed to celebrate Nurses Day in 1953. It was announced by US President Dwight D. Eisenhower. It was first celebrated in 1965, and in May 1974, it was announced to celebrate May 12th as International Nurses Day. The theme this year, Nursing the World to Health, with a focus on true value of nurses to the people of the world. Our school nurses have and will be on the front lines on a daily basis. Nursing is not an easy job, and those who dedicate their whole lives in this profession must be respected and celebrated. So happy Nurses Day to all our nurses. We have another celebration, California's Day of the Teacher, which is today. California's Day of the Teacher has its roots in the community and is patterned after the celebration of the traditional El Dia del Maestro, which is observed in Mexico and Latin America countries. California's Day of the Teacher arose out of legislation, which was co-sponsored by CTA and the Association of Mexican American Educators in 1982. Since then, every year in May, we honor the instructional excellence in our public schools, community colleges, and universities. The theme this year is California Teachers, Inspiring Generations. Pomona is fortunate to have a team of skilled, caring educators who during the current unprecedented global pandemic have taken the role of essential workers, making it possible for students to continue to learn during this uncertain time. Our teachers and educators are learning at rapid speed on how to make distance learning engaging and enlightening as possible. Our teachers and educators are working tirelessly to advocate for their students. Thank you for what you do, and happy California Teachers Day. APT would also like to recognize our classified employees. They will be celebrating Classified Employees Week starting next week. In 1984, CSCA members passed a resolution to establish an official recognition week, and a year later, it was adopted as a state-sponsored resolution. Then, in 1986, Senate Bill 1552 permanently solidified Classified School Employees Week as an annual week of statewide recognition. Their theme this year is 2020, Vision Celebrating Classified Professionals. We want to thank you for the essential work you do to support our students and educators. Some of you have been on the front lines since the school closures, ensuring our students are receiving their lunch on a daily basis, that our schools will be cleaned and ready to go. all of you for your like to recognize our Community Outreach Action Team, otherwise known as our COAT Award. Our COAT Award recipient for 2020, Arturo Jimenez. Arturo Jimenez has lived in the city of the same house that he grew up in, currently with his wife and children. Arturo has been a longtime activist for the city of Pomona. He is the president for Laguna Technical College, and the mission of Laguna Technical College is to provide high quality and effective skill-specific educational programs and supportive services that are vital to the needs and career success of its students. The college programs are designed to provide students job-intensive training to meet the growth dynamics and demands of the allied healthcare and early childhood education industry. Arturo has been the president of the Pomona Valley Democratic Club. He volunteers at his children's school, which is Armstrong Elementary. And when there are issues or concerns with the students or teachers in Pomona, he will always have our backs. He has fought against the city about the selling of alcohol in stores like Walmart, which is close to our schools. He has fought against trash companies when they wanted to bring in a massive recycling center, which would have brought hundreds of trash trucks daily in and out of Pomona in the poorest part of town. Studies were conducted, and the amount of toxins produced by these trucks would have caused many health problems for our children and community. Arturo continues and will keep on advocating for our educators, unions, and making Pomona a better place for all of us. Congratulations, Arturo Jimenez, on receiving the COAT Award for 2020. We have another honor known as the WHO Awards. This honor began when a teacher activist, Sharon Bauman, gave the award its name and presented the first WHO Award in 1968. The name caught on and spreading throughout the state, and there is now a rich history of worthy recipients who have shared this honor. CTA's Service Center 1 has been presenting these awards since 1974, and it is now an integral part of this process. APT's 2020 WHO Award recipient is Wanda Hernandez. This was Wanda's first year on the APT Executive Board, and she has proven to be an inspiring advocate for her union, profession, and colleagues. Her thirst for wanting to learn more about unionism, leadership, and advocacy is admirable. She was able to gather over 200 signatures in a month for the Schools and Communities First campaign. She shows up at school board meetings, APT committee meetings, and trainings. She has become an asset to APT, and I can see her becoming an amazing leader. Congratulations to Wanda Hernandez. APT would also, you don't go into teaching to make a lot of money. People become teachers to make a difference to the students that are in their class, to teach them that they can accomplish their goals and become whoever they want to be in this world. For teachers, making a difference also means teaching your students how to work together in a group, or yes, even about the importance of not sticking objects or fingers, nose, ears. Teachers have shown that you can make a difference in a student's life by the day-to-day things you do for them. Those small things matter to make a big difference in the lives of others. Teachers spend, apart from parents, teachers have influenced the mind of children in a positive way. This way, they shoulder a great social responsibility throughout their careers. The experience obtained through the teaching career enriches their lives and makes it fulfilling. Here is a poem called Heart of a Teacher, written by Paula J. Fox. This poem is for our teachers, counselors, school psychologists, speech and language pathologists, nurses, special ed teachers, adult ed, ROP, and all educators. Heart of a Teacher. The child arrives like a mystery box with puzzle pieces inside. Some of the pieces are broken or missing, and others just seem to hide. But the heart of a teacher can sort them out and help the child to see the potential for greatness he has within, a picture of what he can be. Here, her goal isn't just to teach knowledge by filling the box with more parts. It's putting the pieces together to create a work of art. The process is painfully slow at times. Some need more help than others. Each child is a work in progress with assorted shapes and colors. First, she creates a classroom where the child can feel safe in school, where he never feels threatened or afraid to try, and kindness is always the rule. She knows that a child can achieve much more when he feels secure inside, when he's valued and loved and believes in himself, and he has a sense of pride. She models and teaches good character and respect for one another, how to focus on strengths, not weaknesses, and how to encourage each other. She gives the child the freedom he needs to make choices on his own, so he learns to become more responsible and is able to stand alone. He's taught to be strong and think for himself, and his soul and spirit heal. And the puzzle that's taking shape inside has a much more positive feel. The child discovers the joy that comes from learning something new, and his vision grows as he begins to see all the things he can do. A picture is formed as more pieces fit, an image of the child within, with greater strength and confidence and a belief that he can win. All was there in the heart of a teacher who cared, enabling the child to become much more than he ever imagined or dared. A teacher with a heart for children knows what teaching is all about. She may not have all the answers, but on this she has no doubts. Which side she left to answer this with that matter the child. And educators who will be retired at the end this year. Thank you again, and I'm sure this is not how you wanted to retire, and we wish you all this. I wish that I could end this speech with all this heartfelt gratitude, love, and inspiration, but it would be remiss of me to not.
It appears we've lost connection with our representative from APT. There she is. Would you like to complete your comments, Dorothy? Is she back in?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm here. Okay. We recently received a memo about procedures to close out our classrooms. We were told that everything must come down off our so that PUSD can do some deep cleaning. They would like to wash our walls with us. For many years, as far as I have been an employee of PUSD, the walls have never been washed or cleaned. Dust on walls? How often does one wash their walls at home? Do you remove pictures and art and hose for the upkeep of your home? Is it necessary? Dust and spider webs build up at the bottom and in the corners on top. It would be much easier and cheaper to get a duster and a cobweb remover than to ask our teachers to take down everything for the sake of upkeep. How does dust the walls when they are covered? I wonder. Most elementary teachers and some secondary teachers spend hundreds of their own operational and interactive. We spend hours and some days and weeks, depending on how big and how many walls you have to put up. We buy expensive, fateless butcher paper. Some even buy beautiful fabric. We buy board. We are asked by our schools to make our walls beautiful, and if they are not, we are told or even sometimes sent someone to help make the walls look nice. I am positive that school board members and cabinet members have walked into classrooms and admired the work that teachers put in to make their walls reflect the work of their students and their class community. Unless you are a teacher who has spent time to decorate their walls, you have no idea the time, effort, and money that goes into it. If we are going to be forced to take down our walls every year for the unnecessary cleaning, which has never been done before, then perhaps our walls will not be as beautiful as they once were. Maybe even barren. Teachers Teachers shouldn't have to spend hundreds of dollars of their own money each year and spend countless hours and days to decorate their walls that will have to be torn down. In a time where other things are more important, like teaching our students, staying healthy, we are having to come in and spend hours and days taking our bulletin boards down. This is such a shame. We honor our teachers and educators this week by having them tear down their rooms. We are already saddened that we did not get to properly say goodbye to our students and our colleagues. We had some students pass away and a colleague pass away, and we can't say goodbye. There are so many more important things to focus on, but PUSD wants to clean our walls. We did not get a chance to honor a couple of very important people. The first one we would like to honor is Rebecca Hedrick, otherwise known as Becky. She graced her presence within our district for over 30 years, and I had the distinct pleasure of working with her as my interim principal. She is someone, she is what all principals should strive to be. I feel blessed to have had the experience to work with such an excellent leader. I not only admired and respected Becky, I felt supported, loved, and respected by her. She built relationships that were collaborative, trusting, and long-lasting. Working for Becky brought out the best in me and my students. She would come into our classrooms and then leave a handwritten note thanking us for letting her into our classroom. She always put something positive in the notes. She did this quite a few times. She showed compassion and empathy. She made coming to work a joy, and it felt so nice to have someone we could go to about anything. If there was a problem, she was ready to help. If we needed something, she would find ways to get what we needed. She raised 3 beautiful women, and I can see a part of their mom in each of them. May you rest in peace, Becky. AP is also passing of one of our own, teacher and coach at Cortez, the 24th won her battle with cancer. These words were taken for obituary from legacy.com. Karina was a natural born athlete and had set many records throughout her high school and college career. She met her future husband, Dustin Owen, at the University of Hawaii. When she graduated from college, she moved to Southern California to pursue her dream of teaching young children to achieve their potential. She worked as a teacher and a coach for PUSD, and she believed she learned as much from her students as they did.
I think we lost her again. Perhaps we can move on to Mariana Orozco and circle back if necessary.
We'll move to item 1.07, California School Employees Association Representative.
I'm almost done.
Yeah, okay. Are you ready, Dorothy, to continue?
Do you want me to go? It's done. Yeah, I'm almost done.
Okay, go
You
ahead and
ready?
continue and then we'll move.
All right.
Yes, go
Karina
ahead.
once wrote that she had an absolute joy of teaching me. Okay. Karina once wrote that she had the absolute joy of teaching every day, and there was nothing like helping young people succeed. Her positive attitude, infectious smile, and outgoing personality brought students, administrators, and faculty together as she battled cancer. She leaves behind her husband, her 2 children, Kyle, who's 10, and Sydney, 9, and many family and friends. These are words from Karina from a letter she wrote to her students, which speaks to her positivity and love for her students. When faced with a challenge, such as I have the past 3 years, I really have 2 options. The 2 options are the same for me as they are for you. I can sad, angry, and feel sorry for myself for the situation I am in, or I can pull myself up by the bootstraps and take each day head on with gusto. Mrs. Lemus says every day, make it a dang, is that true or what? We decide on what we want to make of the class, a practice, relationship with our parents, TLC, and for me, tackling cancer. You name it. You can decide what to do. I choose to keep on going, to keep on keeping on. I know you can do it too. 6 great butterflies going out into the. You use those jelly beans. I cannot wait to hear what you have done with them. Love you all and so proud of you. It's a great day to be a wizard. Love, Mrs. Owen. Karina, may you rest in peace. As we reflect on the ending of this school year for our teachers, students, and families, we want to remember that we are here for each and every one of you. Congratulations to the seniors, graduating class of 2020, our awarded recipients, and our retirees. We can get through anything together because we are stronger together. And I would like to end with a moment of silence in honor of Becky Hedrick and Karina Owen. Thank you and good night.
Thank you. Now joining us, Mariana Orozco. You can unmute.
Thank you. Yes, I'm on mute. Good evening, President Adrian Conagar Macklin, members of the board, Superintendent Martinez, cabinet, and everyone who's enjoying this virtual meeting. I'm going to talk about not being on the same page. It's kind of hard to go after what my fellow union member is saying here, but a labor union is an organization of workers joining together to negotiate wages and improve working conditions with employers. The union bands together to protect employee rights. When the union and employers form a partnership and build a positive relationship, excuse me for a second, niños, together everyone wins. In fact, many effective union representatives partner with management to achieve company goals. Unfortunately, many times interactions between the union and management come about when something goes wrong. Here, CSEA, Pomona Chapter 14, and the leadership of Pomona Unified School District work together by meeting and bringing concerns during our labor management meetings. We talk about working together, we share our concerns, we resolve the problems, and create a better working environment. Good communication, support, and trust are key factors. When management involves the union by asking for their input both before and after, it creates a win-win situation. Unfortunately, not everyone believes in labor management. There are several who believe the union is taking over. The union is telling our employees what to do. Who the heck do they think they are? Why can't we can't give them everything they want. That will show weakness. We have to show them who's the boss. Now let's pause a moment and think about this. I usually don't address issues like this because I like for everyone to see that there's things that happen within our communities and even in our homes, but we work together. And this is what we're going to continue to do. And especially now during this time when employees are feeling stress and experience significant change. We are concerned about our jobs. We are working from home or required to come on site despite heightening health risks. We are dealing with child and elder care issues. We have been asked to participate in committees, and then all of a sudden decisions are made. We get invited to give our input, and then we're told it's management's prerogative. Lately, we have heard many say, we are just the support staff. We are here to support. We can come back immediately to work, and yet it is not equitable amongst everyone. We are not on the same page. We can go shopping, we can cook, we can even serve the food, but we can't eat with you. Please understand, we are not just support staff. We are the frontline workers. Are we not the ones who bring our students to school, who meet our students and arrive, and when they arrive to school, even though now there is no school, who cook and serve their meals? Are we not the ones who ensure the safety of our students? We are the ones who keep our classrooms, campus clean, And we are not the ones, we are also the ones who reinforce and assist in teaching our students. There is more I can say, but we are classified employees and we are proud to serve our students, parents, co-workers, and our community. During this time of emotional stress, we are continuing cleaning and disinfecting our schools, our classrooms. Yes, even the walls. We are delivering and repairing Chromebooks and hotspots. We are serving breakfast and lunch. We are watching over our schools and we are available to assist our parents with family needs. We are supporting each other. Isn't that what PSD is about? Collaboration. That's what Mr. Martinez always teaches us, and he teaches us collaboration, working together, and especially during this crisis. We don't backpedal. We are committed, and we have proven that. We were told that there are 3 payroll benefits positions that would be filled. And we heard, and you've heard it several times, that employees were disappointed because they didn't receive their checks or their retro checks in a timely fashion. We have insurance signups coming up soon. We know we're going to continue working together. I don't want anyone to think that that's not what we're doing. We are in contract reopeners, and we are aware of what is going on. Everyone is waiting to hear the impact this crisis is going to have on our budget. And it is unfortunate during this emotional time and members are asking what's going to happen. We realize that this is going to be difficult, but we don't need that thrown at us. We can't give you what you want is what we're being told. But can we just listen and see what we can do by working together? And let's get back on the same page and give what's fair and equitable for all employees. Classified School Employees Week is coming up, and we thank you for the recognition. We're sorry to say we're not able to have our barbecue this fiscal year, but that's okay. Just think about those hot dogs and hamburgers and all that cooking, the good smelling out there and at the Eagles Lodge. But this year coming up, Lord willing, all this is going to be set aside and we're going to look at it and we're going to see our mistakes and we're going to move forward and we're not going to have this again. And you're going to sit at the table with us at a welcome back party. God bless you and we love you all.
Thank you, Mariana. We'll move on to item 1.09, audience comments. As earlier indicated, members of the public were requested to submit all comments by means of prior notice, public call-in number, and email address, allowing them to provide comments on the agenda until 5 p.m. on May 11th. For the record, no additional public comments have been received. This concludes item 1.09. We now move to section 2, information items, presentations. 2.01, Superintendent oral communication on agenda items.
Thank you, Ms. San Martin. I do have three items I want to call out. One is item 3.03 of the agenda. It's a proclamation in recognition of School Nurse Appreciation Week and National Nurses Day. As you heard from Dorothy earlier, we know how critical this position and these positions are. And I want to make sure that we acknowledge that our health clerks that we have in our system, our health assistants, I look at them just as importantly and just as critically as we would a nurse that's on the campus. So I want to point out that this proclamation is to recognize both folks, our health professionals that work for us every day. Not only are they critical during a pandemic, they're critical to all students and staff way before the pandemic. Here in PSD, I'd consider them our first responders. In many cases, our families cannot afford medical care, and it is our health professionals at each of our schools that examine and care for our kids. On behalf of PSD families and staff, I want to thank you for your commitment and dedication to your profession. Item 3.04, proclamation and recognition of Classified School Employees Week, which is May 17th through the 23rd. We want to recognize our CSEA employees today on this section for their contribution in establishing and promoting a positive instructional environment. Each of our CSEA employees play a vital role in providing for the welfare and safety of all PSD students. Thank you for creating a welcoming environment with facilities that we are so proud of, that represent all of us. And then the last one is item 5A.05, certificate of personnel, change of assignments, salary or status. I want to point out specifically the ones that are teacher specialists and those that are not working in the classroom with students. And I want to share something with you. Due to this pandemic that we're under, this COVID-19 pandemic, it's very likely, it's very possible that I'm going to be asking for your support. Teachers that are not in the classroom, that are supporting other teachers, that do training, that develop curriculum for all their peers. Anyone with a teaching credential and out of the classroom, I may be calling on you in the fall in an effort to maintain these small groups that are being required of us by the LA County Health Department. What we're hearing, it's going to be groups of no more than 11 in a space or in a classroom. And so we want to make sure that we could respond and support and educate our kids. So I'll be asking all certificated employees to be ready, to be nimble. Yep, that's all of us. To be nimble and to be flexible with the challenges or opportunities that we're going to be facing once we return to school in the fall. So I'd like to make sure that you hear that right now. And I know there's an item here for teacher specialists and other positions out of classrooms. And this is critical for us as an organization. Thank you.
Thank you. We move to item 2.02, retirement service awards. Mr. Martinez.
So normally Darren Knowles does this, and normally we have a lot of people in the space in the room and downstairs in the boardroom, but for the reasons that we've mentioned before, we couldn't recognize these wonderful folks that dedicated most of their lives here in Pomona Unified. So we want to recognize our certificated and classified retirees that are listed in this section. And in that you'll have in the book, or in this case, you're probably looking online on the agenda. Just like our graduating seniors of 2020, our retirees are leaving at a time where recognition with social distancing protocols makes it quite difficult. As we've done in the past, our retirees will receive a plaque, just like what you saw here with what Audrey's receiving. And we will provide a tribute via the website. And we started that last year. So we want to make sure that they can share that with their families anywhere in the world. Most importantly, on behalf of the governing board and myself, we would like to acknowledge our colleagues' years of service and say thank you to each of them for their great work and dedication throughout the years. We wish each of you the very best, and please stay healthy and enjoy your well-deserved retirements. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. We will now move to item 2.03, approval of the minutes for the regular board meetings of February 19th, 2020 and March 10th, 2020. Mrs. Conager-Macklin.
This is the board president, Adrian Conager-Macklin. May I have a motion, please?
Motion, this is Frank Guzman. Motion to approve. the
May I have a
minutes.
second?
This is Roberta Perlman. I second.
Thank you. May I please have a roll call vote?
Mr. Guzman.
I agree, that's a very good
Yes.
question. Andrew.
Mrs. Conager-Macklin.
Yes.
That was
Dr. Perlman.
first
Yes.
thing when they say the share awards have nothing to do
Dr. Rothman.
Yes.
Mr. Wong.
to the deal of the
Yes.
company.
The motion passes by a vote of 5-0. Thank you. I believe we're moving to section 3.
We're now in section 3, the consent calendar. Item 3.01, oral communications on consent calendar items. No additional public comments have been received. So we'll move to item 3.02, consent calendar. The consent calendar includes items 3 through 8. All of these items will be considered and voted on together unless specifically removed for individual consideration. A separate vote will be taken on agenda item 5A.04, certificated personnel catastrophic leave number 1 only. Board President Conager Macklin?
Yes, may I have a motion, please?
This is Jason Rothman. I'll move the item.
May I have a second?
Roberta Perlman, I'll second.
Thank you. I'll call for a roll call vote.
Mr. Guzman?
Tax obligations here.
Yes.
And I was going through the,
Mrs. Conager Macklin?
Yes.
Dr. Perlman?
Yes.
Dr. Rothman?
shareholder.
Yes.
Mr. Wong?
Contract
Yes.
doesn't matter. Shares in the company. The capital
Yes.
contribution to the company.
Thank you.
Now we have an item for separate consideration.
We will need a vote.
Yes, item 5A.04 is being called for separate consideration. May I have a motion, please?
I'll move 58.04. Roberta
Thank
Perlman.
you. Is there a second?
This is Jason Rothman. I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Guzman?
Abstain.
Mrs. Conager Macklin?
Yes.
Dr. Perlman?
Yes.
Dr. Rothman?
Yes.
Mr. Wong?
Yes.
All right, the motion passes 4-0, one abstention. All right.
For clarity, the consent calendar, was that the first vote that was taken? So we moved on from that? Okay.
Yes.
We will now move to section 9, special action items. Item 9.01, oral communications on special action items only. No additional public comments have been received. Item 9.02, resolution number 27, not to reemploy certificated employees due to a reduction or elimination of particular kinds of service. Mr. Martinez.
In February of 2020, the governing board approved a certificated layoff resolution allowing the district to provide the proper notice to the employees impacted by the elimination and reduction of their positions. The education code requires a final action after the individual hearing or the waiving of those hearings.
Now we go to item.
The approval of resolution number 27 allows the district to provide a final notice to those employees. This concludes the presentation. If the board has any questions, Mr. Knowles would be glad to answer them at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. May I have a motion on item 9.02?
So moved. This is Frank Guzman.
Thank you. May I have a second, please?
This is Jason Rothman. I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Roll call vote?
Mr. Guzman?
Yes.
Held the required public hearing.
Mrs. Conager Macklin?
Yes.
Dr. Perlman?
Yes.
Dr. Rothman?
Yes.
Mr. Wong?
The document
Yes.
on that basis.
President Macklin, does the Conager Macklin, the motion passes 5-0? Perfect, thank you. We now move on to section 10, open oral communications. 10.01, audience comments. No additional public comments have been received. So moving on to item 10.02, board and superintendent oral communications and concluding comments. We'll begin with Mr. Guzman.
Thank you. I just want to acknowledge our classified employees, as it's going to be Classified School Employees Week over the next week. The work that they do has been amazing for this district during this difficult time. They have remained our frontliners, and so I just want to thank them for all the work that they do now and prior to now. They've always been great supporters. Want to congratulate Arturo Jimenez for the Code Award from APT. Good job there. And I will leave with announcing that my son, Frank Guzman, Jr., has graduated with his bachelor's in public policy from University of Michigan. And this fall, he'll be studying at the Harvard Kennedy School, where he will be pursuing his master's degree in public policy. He's a Pomona grad, graduated from Diamond Ranch High School went to Lorbeer, Golden Springs. So I'm definitely happy to make that announcement, and he's looking forward to his time at the Harvard Kennedy School. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Conacher Macklin. Unmute. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us by Zoom, of course. I'd like to first of all congratulate my colleague and his son. That is a wonderful, wonderful accomplishment, and we are PUSD proud of him for sure. I also want to brag about a PUSD graduate. My son graduated from Howard University School of Law this year and received 2 awards for having the highest scores in 2 of his courses of everyone in the school. So I am very much a PUSD proud parent, graduate from Diamond Ranch, Lorbeer, and where do you go? Ranch Hills, which brings me to my second item. Rebecca Hedrick was a wonderful, wonderful person. And the comments made tonight by Dorothy Kim Perez were quite timely and moved me to tears. But I also have a note from 15 years ago from one of her students who wrote about what it meant to have a blue ribbon school. At the time, she was the principal at Ranch Hills Elementary. And here's what it says. Last but not least, our principal, Miss Hedrick, without her, we would be lost. She is the best and at keeping us in line. Also, when we're in line, we get rewards from her, hugs, and chess masters. This is her school, and we love her leading it. So her students loved her, as well as the administration, the staff. We all will miss her and her smile and just her genuinely kind ways. I too want to express my gratitude to the superintendent for being creative and thinking of ways to honor the 6th and 8th grade promotional students. I also want to encourage us to do something for the seniors. I appreciate the step and repeat, but if they just happen to drive by social distancing and someone is there to tell them congratulations, that would be nice too. I don't know if we can do that with the current health order, but it would certainly be nice. You have led us well during this pandemic and as we continue to navigate through it. So we appreciate your leadership. We appreciate teachers joining in to come online and do distance learning, and all of our classified staff for all of the work that they do and will continue to do. That concludes my comments for this evening.
Thank you, Mrs. Conacher Macklin. Dr. Perlman?
Thank you. Good evening. First of all, I want to thank our classified employees. They do incredible work and very critical work for the welfare and benefit of our students and families. So thank you to all our classified employees. Your work is very, very much appreciated. Thank you and congratulations to our retirees. I'm sorry that it's not a bigger celebration for you, but your work with our students and again with our families is very, very much appreciated. And I know that you put your hearts and souls into our students every day. So thank you to all our retirees. Then thank you to our nurses and our health clerks. I think the word hero has taken on a little bit of a different definition in today's arena, health arena, and everyone is recognizing the heroic work of our nurses and healthcare workers. So thank you again to all our nurses, and also our health clerks. Congratulations to Arturo Jimenez for winning the Code Award. He does good work in the community, and congrats to him. And also for Dorothy, thank you for talking about Becky Hedrick. she was not only an incredible educator and administrator, but she's a wonderful, wonderful lady. I knew her well, and I will greatly miss her. Thank you to Audrey Ramos for being our student representative to the board. She did a wonderful job. I know her personally, and she's a lovely, lovely young lady, and she will do very well, I'm sure. And a couple of other things, just a couple of announcements. About 80 teachers and staff members have been taking a sky breathing class at the district, and it addresses stress reduction, and not only for themselves, but for those around them, for their students, to teach them how to center themselves and be a little more mindful of their actions. And we're also offering sky breathing classes to our parents. So we have parenting classes going on every week. So look into those. They're wonderful classes. I don't know how many of them I've been to, but they've been very helpful. Then also, the PA organization, Pomona's Promise, is hosting an art competition, and it is still going. It was going to end Friday, but we extended it to Sunday, and we have some beautiful, beautiful artwork. I think it's already posted, but I'm not sure. Maybe you can address that, Richard. I don't know if you know how to access that, but anyway, so check out that artwork. And then congratulations to all our graduates. I know we can't give you a traditional graduation send-off, but it doesn't take away from the hard work you did, and we're just very proud of you. Not only our graduating seniors, but also our students promoting from elementary and middle school. And that's it. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Dr. Perlman. Dr. Rothman?
Hello. First, I want to thank all of our teachers and all of our classified staff and all the people that are still working to keep our system running. The word essential employee gets thrown around so much nowadays. It's hard to keep track of exactly who our essential employees are, and every single one of you is essential in my book. Everything is continuing to run. You're doing an absolutely phenomenal job in the face of one of the most bizarre things that I think anyone's ever seen. You know, I really appreciate the dedication of our staff to make sure that our students are still getting the services that they need, that our teachers are still making sure our students are learning, and that everybody's trying to stay safe. I didn't personally know Becky Hedrick very well, but I definitely heard lots of very kind words. I know her legacy is very important, and I'm sure she'll be sorely missed. Likewise, I'd like to congratulate our retirees. Usually we have a big crowd of loud retirees, and it's a little strange having an empty room without any retirees in it, but congratulations and thank you for your service nonetheless. I want to thank our student rep for her service on the board, and also want to say congrats to Mr. Guzman and Ms. Conacher-Macklin's kids. That is so cool, having 2 graduations at the same time. Likewise, congrats to the class of 2020. Probably graduating in the strangest time of your life, not only because you're 18, but also because of a pandemic. Other than that, I'd like to point out, you know, a couple of the heroes that everyone was mentioning. As of last Friday, we just got our update that we've served over 250,000 meals to our students during lockdown. And that is something admirable, and that is something everybody should be proud of. I really want to thank you, Superintendent Martinez, for leading us through one of the most challenging times in public education in history. And you're doing such a great job, and all of staff is really doing well. I want to remind everybody to stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you in person soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rothman. Mr. Wong?
Thanks, Frank. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Hello. Hi. I want to thank the entire PUSD family and the community, our administrators, our teachers, CSEA, for everything that you've done in this unprecedented time. It's been remarkable, the updates that we get, the stories that we hear about all of the individual efforts and collective efforts of our PUSD family makes me, and I know all of the other board members, extremely proud to be a part of this PUSD family. And so while we're all quarantined and staying safe, I just want to pass on my personal thanks and best wishes to everybody during this time period. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wong. Mr. Martinez?
Have to get off of mute here. So Dr. Proman, I was looking on my Facebook here. So you can go at Pomona Unified on Facebook and you'll be able to access the art and you'll see the link straight into all the artwork. So everything that's up to date, Julio Ruiz is our webmaster. So as the art comes in, people don't have to wait until the art contest is over. It's being put in real time. So our parents, our families could show off their kids, and it's incredible pieces by primary, by upper grade elementary, by our high schoolers, our middle schoolers. So I'm incredibly impressed. And Dr. Perlman, and it's been kind of a great project for you along with other folks in our community. And so a lot of people are celebrating, and we're not even calling winners out quite yet and just celebrating what's going on. I want to point out SARB, our School Attendance Review Board of Pomona Unified School District, has been given a state award as a model SARB in the state. And there's only a handful of the 1,100 school districts across the state. This is one, and just to let you know what this group does, they provide interventions and supports for families that may be struggling at getting to school on time or getting to school regularly. I know you're thinking during an pandemic like now, maybe they're not doing too much work. This is the same group that are helping others right now in the time of need. But this group comes together as a board and they support families and help them, not in a disciplinary way, but they help them through whatever issues they may be dealing with that may be creating the tardiness or the absences for a student. So it's really with the heart that they support our families. So thank you, Cesar Casarovias and Dr. Christina Walks Harper for leading those efforts, and Tatiana Gomez. These are the three that have led in this area, so I appreciate your care for our kids. The second thing is food services. You heard Mr. Rothman talk about the 250,000 meals that we've served. Guess what? That's going to continue right through the summer. Kids, this is exciting. Parents, this is exciting. So food will be given for the summer, but keep something in mind. They deserve a break. So on Memorial Day, please thank them on the Friday before Memorial Day for all they've done and let them know they could have a day off on Memorial Day and that you're okay with it. You know, you could do burritos that day or something on that day, but then food will resume the following day. We're doing the same for 4th of July. So make sure you say you can have another day off. And so make sure you thank them for all the good work they're doing. The other thing I want to share is, you may have heard, and maybe we said it the last time, there's a new kid in the block. His name is Roy Sandoval. He's 4 weeks old. He happens to be the kid of the mayor of Pomona. And so it's a new kid for the mayor. It's his first kid for him and Chrissy. And Chrissy had her first Mother's Day Sunday. And so I'm sure it was exciting for her, for both of them. So when you see the mayor, congratulate him, 4-week-old Roy Sandoval, a future PUSD student. We'll make sure of that. So that's going to happen too. The other thing I want to share with you is Compassionate Pomona. It's a group of just all kinds of different folks from different walks, and Dr. Perlman's in there. I'm in there. There's a whole bunch of folks in there that are just incredibly helpful and supportive in this community all the time. And they went ahead and put their monies together and they purchased some banners that are on Gary, north and south on the bridge where the train track, this is on the south train track right here in downtown Pomona. The sign's huge. It's like 22 feet long. It's congratulating all Pomona graduates. Compassionate Pomona congratulates Pomona Catholic. Say, every kid that lives in the city that's graduating and promoting, we celebrate with their families. So I'm excited about what Compassionate Pomona has done. Thank you for your support for our kids and celebrating them. And again, lastly, congratulations to our young people as they move on to college. I just heard that the Cal State system is going to keep you home. That's going to save your parents money. So that's a good thing. but guess what? You get to be with your parents for another semester. So congratulations if you're going to the Cal State system, UC system, and private schools. I'm excited for you. And if you're going to the workforce, you're going to go to college because that's going to get old fast and you're going to go back to college. So congratulations, all of those that are promoting. Thank you.
Thank you. Board President Conager Macklin.
Yes, I'm sorry, I was muted. I just want to take a minute to say, or to tell the teachers, today is Happy Day of the Teacher in California. So congratulations, and we thank you for all of your hard work and effort. This has been a huge lift for you, as many parents will attest to. Teaching is not easy. So thank you again for all of your service and work to PUSD. Don't want to forget that. All right. Our next regular board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, June 24th, 2020 at 6 p.m. All of us in the Pomona Unified School District were deeply saddened by the death of one of our employees, Karina Owen, elementary teacher, Cortez Mathematics and Science School. She has been employed with the district for over 15 years. The Board of Education and staff extends its deepest sympathy to the family and adjourns this meeting in her memory. Thank you, everyone, for participating. This concludes the board meeting of the Pomona Unified School District. We'll see you back on June 24th. Thank you.